Despite the focus being on Russia due to the scandalous nature of the allegations right now, there is way more to investigate about Donald Trump than just Russia. Trump should definitely be investigated for possible collusion between his campaign and Russia, and we should be following those investigations. But there are way more areas of investigation that are warranted for Donald Trump. A week ago today, or yesterday, Dan Alexander at Forbes broke the story that Eric Trump, Trump's son, has been lying to donors who give money to his charity while he's been funneling money into the Trump Organization. It's a charity for kids with cancer, and that needs to be investigated, as well as many other charitable giving related issues with Donald Trump. Eric Trump has been evasive when confronted about this. Ian Jalul, who served as a longtime membership director at Trump National Westchester Golf Course, said to Forbes that, quote, in the early years, they weren't being billed for the club. The bills would just disappear. Mr. Trump had a cow. He flipped. He was like, we're donating all of this stuff and there's no paper trail, no credit. And he went nuts. He said, I don't care if it's my son or not. Everybody gets billed. And thus, funneling money from charitable donations to Trump golf courses started. Speaking of which, Donald Trump's own charity has acted in legally questionable ways a number of times. Melania Trump once used $20,000 of charitable money from the Trump Foundation to buy a painting of Donald Trump, which is now on display at one of Trump's golf courses. Trump himself used $12,000 of charitable funds to buy a football helmet autographed by football player Tim Tebow. Many in our audience might also remember the time that the Trump Foundation made a major donation to Pam Bondi's Attorney General campaign in Florida. The foundation hid from the IRS, and Bondi later dropped Florida's investigation into Trump University. Very sketchy. Trump actually did receive a slap on the wrist fine for that. And it goes much, much further than this. Possible, look at Trump's history, right? Forget about the possible. Money laundering at a New Jersey casino. Racial discrimination at Trump's apartment buildings, possible FTC violations for stock purchases, SEC violations for financial reporting issues, the entire Trump University thing. So I think, Pat, it's important not to ignore what's going on with Russia, but it's also important not to put all your eggs in that basket, because there is a long history of questionable activity from Donald Trump.
You know, during the transition, there was a lot of talk about if Donald Trump would be breaking the emoluments clause by allowing foreign dignitaries to stay at his D.C. hotel. That talk kind of went by the wayside in recent months, but now you have the attorney generals from both Maryland and the District of Columbia who are pressing charges.
Absolutely. And here is a classic just to send you off with. Donald Trump once offered $1 million prize if you could hit a hole in one at one of his golf courses. Someone actually hit a hole in one. But Donald Trump refused to pay him the money because the fine print of the contest said the hole-in-one has to be from more than 150 yards. The course was set up so that the holes in which you could hit a hole-in-one had the tee boxes under 150 yards from the pin. The guy who hit the hole-in-one sued, and they ended up settling. But guess who paid the guy? Not Trump's for-profit golf course. It was Trump's charity, the Trump Foundation, that paid out the money.
That's disturbing.
It's unbelievable,
I'm
right?
out of words, yeah.
It's almost difficult to believe. So anyway, there's way more here, folks, than just the Russia investigation. And I've only given you a brief introduction to that. Send me your thoughts. I'm on Twitter at @DPakman. The show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. I'm really glad that Tagadab, the hosting specialists, are sponsoring today's episode of the David Pakman Show. One of my biggest gripes with internet hosting companies is often not so much in terms of the technology, but in terms of the support. And that's really where Tagadab excels. 70% of their business comes from repeat orders or recommendations from existing customers of theirs. Really a testament to the support that they give their customers. And they currently have an average Trustpilot review rating of excellent at 9.7 out of 10. With a growing number of people interested in moving their businesses and projects to the cloud, Tagadab is currently offering a £10 free credit to all new customers signing up for a cloud account. To give you a chance to try their service, simply go to signup.tagadab.com/TDPS, signup.tagadab.com/TDPS.